I get the honor to speak with the one and only Dr. George C. Fraser. Dr. Fraser is the author of the book Success Runs in Our Race. It's a very popular book. It's required reading, and I think every HBCU in America, if I'm not mistaken. And also, he is the founder of the Power Networking Conference for Fraser Nation that happens every year, and I'm going to be there this year. And so, without further ado, I want to ask my good brother, Dr. Fraser, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing wonderful. Happy New Year to you.
Same
With
to you,
that
my brother.
smiling face. Man, it's just good to be alive. These are some really interesting times, and you're doing some incredibly provocative and interesting things. We can unpack that later. Um, you've traveled to Africa almost around the same time. I took 2 weeks to Africa. We can unpack that later. And I'm just, as always, honored to be on your podcast. And I meant to ask you a question.
Mhm.
We do this by Zoom. Is this presented to your audience by Zoom, or is it all just audio? I just meant to
No,
ask you.
it's actually all video. It's split screen video, and actually, and just so everybody that's watching on Dr. Boyce TV, just know that if you want to see Dr. Fraser on the screen, just go over to theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's where it's actually streaming. You
Mhm.
guys are going to see me from the side. So what I'll do a lot of times is, everything around here. I'm proudly Chitlin Circuit in terms of my media setup, man. I bought the lighting I have is not complicated. These are like 10, 15, $20 lights I bought from Walmart but I set up a lot of them because I know light's important. The microphone here cost me about maybe $50. The camera cost me about $60, and Zoom doesn't cost that much. So what I do is I just set up the Zoom, and it does a split screen where they can see us on the YouTube channel where we go live. And then I have my iPhone set up where people on the other side where I'm doing the secondary cast can actually see me. They can only see me. They can't see you. So that's my setup. That's the the Dr. Boyce television network.
Right, right. And I love that. That is the innovation of Black people. There is no excuse. So you've set up a television channel and a production studio for under $200,
Yeah.
right? And so now you can control the messaging uh, of Black people from your perspective, right? And we need more and more. We have to take control of our message, right? And
Yeah.
with the internet and technology, what it is today, there's no excuse. If you have a voice, if you have a thought, if you have an idea, if you have a presentation you want to make to our people, you can. I mean, you're a wonderful model. This is incredible. It's exactly also what you do with your online Black Business Institute. We need
Yeah.
to talk. That's unbelievable. I mean,
Well,
so
well, well, I
your
appreciate that.
effective utilization of technology is mind-boggling. God bless you for that.
Oh, well, thank you, man. Thank you. Well, yeah, my belief is that we have to do this, really, to use that cliche, by any means necessary.
Yes.
Malcolm started the train. We got to finish the race, and so when I think about the obstacles that exist for us as Black men and women trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents, I think about the fact that we had ancestors who came right out of slavery and were educating our children better than the $1 billion public schools are educating those kids now.
That's right.
And they went back to the basics, and so my belief is that we can do this, and we're smarter than they are, so we're smarter than everyone. And I just said, this is going to be a platform that's got more substance over flash, and it's worked. We reach about 1 million people a week, and we don't have to ask anybody's permission for anything.
Wow. That's wonderful. Wow. Just keep doing it and keep saying it, because the key to learning, especially for us, is simplicity and repetition, right? We've got to say it 50 different ways on 50 different days. And this is, I think, one of the keys to being a productive speaker in Black America is that you must never get tired of saying the same thing, right? Now, you may want to say it different ways, but in essence, it's the same thing. If you looked at a speech I gave 35 years ago, if you analyze that speech, Doc, It's the same thing I'm saying 35 years later. Now, I've added some new statistics, perhaps some new insights, some new slogans, but fundamentally, it's the same messaging. That's how I built my brand. That's how you're building your brand. That's what I'm known for, right? That's what I've built trust around. So this is a lesson for all of you out here seeking, let's call it notoriety or celebrity and brand. Figure out what your message is, what has God given you, right? Craft that message and then keep repeating it until you die, right? And so, you know, you are known now as sort of the economic guru, really. And the Black Business Institute, not only are you speaking it, but you are directing our people to places where they can actually learn it and do it. That's the 1-2 punch. And, you know, that's very, very, very powerful. I love you for that, man. Just stick with it. Don't stop. How old are you now?
48.
Okay. Okay. So I'm always tempted to call you an elder, but you're not. And then you
Oh,
got
thank you.
you're not yet. You will be, right? Because you're woke and conscious, but you will be. And in fact, maybe at the end of the program, I'd like to speak to an interesting study, and I'm trying to remember if I spoke to your audience about this already, by the New England Journal of Medicine on the most productive periods of your life, the most productive periods of your life, a 20,000 person study put out by the New England Journal of Medicine, sort of the Harvard of medical journals. It's mind boggling what they came up with. So we can put a pin in that and talk about that later.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to. And that's sounds really interesting. And everybody, in case you just came in, I'm speaking with Dr. George C. Fraser. Dr. Fraser is the author of the book "Success Runs in Our Race." He's also the founder of Fraser Nation and the Power Networking Conference, which happens every year. And if you guys would like to see Dr. Fraser on screen, some of you are watching on the simulcast on drvoicetv.com. All you got to do is hop over to theblackfinancialchannel.com, theblackfinancialchannel.com, and you can see Dr. Fraser on the screen. Also, please hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button right now. Also, hit that button to subscribe and get the notification bell. And so today we're gonna actually jump into something Dr. Fraser brought up that I thought was really interesting, something that can benefit everybody. And he basically wanted to talk about 7 streams of income that every person should have. So Dr. Fraser, I'm going to just be quiet and let you go do your thing with that. So let's start with number 1.
Yeah. And A, I don't want you to be quiet. B, I want you to, where you feel a need to unpack or give more detail about the particular stream of income, please do that. Okay. So you may want to take notes. This is part of a post that I was doing this week on all of my social media, just discussing what are the critical streams of income. Because at the conference, as you know, we preach the gospel that there should be no Negro in America with less than 3 streams of income, right? There should not be a Negro in America with a single stream of income, not today. That is an effective underutilization of your God-given power and creativity, right? We can do more than one thing. We can do more than sing and dance, play football, baseball, and basketball, right? So we are the most creative, the most innovative people on the planet. We are imitated everywhere in the world, right? In fact, other people benefit from our ideas and creativity and culture economically more than we do, right? So that's a whole nother subject I know you have talked about. When you come to the Power Networking Conference, we teach you, or we certainly tell you that we will show you how to double your streams of income. If you come there with a single stream, we will show you how to leave with at least 2. If you come there with 2, we will show you how to leave there with at least 4. Right? So let's begin this. What is the number 1 stream of income for most Black people? And that would be earned income. and that's income from working on a job. That's really most Black people, right? So most Black people would qualify under that category. The second is what I call profit income. Income from buying or selling something. In America, two things are happening. Somebody's buying and somebody's selling. Right now, we are the consumption class. They are the production class. They make stuff, we buy stuff. We don't sell. In fact, most Black people don't even like selling. I don't know if you remember George C. He was an old school brother. He wrote the first book in Black America on why Black people hate selling and why they shouldn't hate selling. An incredible book. Go on Amazon. He's the first brother. We had him to speak at some of our early Success Net events back in the 80s. And he talked about selling, why we need to embrace selling. So I'm asking our people, and have been asking them for at least a decade, stop doing all the buying and do some selling. If you bake cookies, put them in a box and sell it to somebody. If you live on a farm, take the manure, put it in a bag, put your name on it. You can become an entrepreneur, okay? And sell the damn thing to somebody. You can sell anything in America. This is America. You can sell bags of shit and call it fertilizer. There's no excuse. Stop doing all the buying and sell something, brothers and sisters. I don't care if it's insurance. I don't care if it's homes. There's whatever. Sell something. Sell something. So profit income from buying or selling something. That's the second stream of income. The third is what I call interest income, and that's income from lending money. Now, that's a little provocative, but if you have the wherewithal to lend money and to earn interest, by the way, which is how much of America makes its money, right? The financial system, how does it make its money? It makes its money from interest income. Right? So if you have the wherewithal to do that legitimately, we're not talking gangster stuff here, right? That's a powerful way to earn money. The fourth stream of income would be dividend income. Income from owning stocks, bonds, mutual funds. There have been all kinds of studies on how Black people on a per capita basis are have the lowest investment in stocks, which is, stocks is really ownership, right? And Warren Buffett taught us, if you drink Coca-Cola, why wouldn't you own it? Then you can own some of it. If you're spending $200 on Nikes, why wouldn't you spend $200 on Nike stock, and let's see what's worth more 20 years from now, right? So dividend income from owning stock. And that's a huge part of my own portfolio. The next is rental income. Now, I'm going to say this with humility, but I believe that I was a pioneer in this rental income from renting property, renting homes. I made my first $1 million in the early 70s, right after I got married, by buying 8 2- and 3-family homes in an old Polish neighborhood in Cleveland, Ohio, as Black people began to move in that neighborhood called the Buckeye neighborhood, right? Polish people, the Slavics who were in it, got frightened and began to leave. I caught wind of that, And I bought their homes because they were all living together. They were living in 2 and 3 family homes, right? I bought the first one for pennies on a dollar, $13,000, a pristine 2-family home, pristine, because they took care of their stuff. The word got out to their neighbors, which was really much of them were their families, and I ended up buying 8 homes in a row. This is in the 70s, all of them for under $15,000. And one of them, 2 of them were 3 families. I accelerated the depreciation, which brought my earned income tax obligation to near zero. I didn't flip them. I kept them. And I turned them into Section 8 housing, which the government was paying the highest rent per square foot. I turned it all into Section 8, but I was extraordinarily selective about the Section 8 brothers and sisters I put into it. Right? And I promised them if they took care of the property, if they so desired, when I decided to sell, I would sell it to them. Well, they loved me for that.
Wow.
13 years later, I flipped those houses for 15 times what I paid for them, not including the tax write-offs, the accelerated depreciation, right? The rent payments to them. They loved me. I made a fortune. And that began my path down the power and importance of rental income. So any brother and sister out there, it was maybe the smartest thing I did. So that was in the 70s when no one was talking about flipping houses. Now, there were certainly some brothers and sisters who owned rental property, but they did not have a strategy. They did not have a plan. They did not have a system. I developed a plan and a system, and it was African-centered. I had my own little village. The brothers and sisters who were Section 8 took care of the property. They owned it because they were going to own it.
Wow.
Right? So it reminds me of a story of the carpenter. There was a carpenter who had a son. And he said to his son, I would like for you to build a house. And his son said, well, Dad, I'm really just a journeyman. I think I can. I think you taught me all the lessons. He said, I want you to build a house. And I will give you the resources, but you build it. So his son took 9 months and he built a house. And he did what he could. And he came back to his dad and said, Dad, I finished the house. And his dad looked at him and gave him the keys to the house and said, the house is now yours. And the son started crying. And the son said to his father, had I known you were going to give me this house, I would have built a better house.
Wow.
Powerful lesson I learned many years ago, right?
Wow.
Ownership, a sense, it creates a sense of pride. And that was basically what I did and said to my Section 8 tenants. Take care of this house. Someday you may own it if you so desire. And they did. So, rental income. It is a beautiful and powerful thing. That's number 5. Number 6 is capital gains. Capital gains income. Purchasing assets that increase in value. If you owned a Land Rover and you still have a landlord, you're stupid. You are purchasing something that declines in value the moment you drive it out of the store. Right? You're paying rent. So we are buying cars and renting homes. We got it ass backwards. Capital gains, assets that increase in values. And don't tell me, Dr. Fraser, what about diamonds? Wrong. Buy a diamond today, walk out of the store, and then go back to the store and try to sell them your diamond for what you purchased it for. They will look at you like you're insane. Diamonds fundamentally, unless you have some unique 75 carat diamond found in a mine, 100 years ago or something special. But generally speaking, they do not increase in value. Now, there are many things that do. So capital gains, assets that are increasing in value.
Interesting. So
the final one.
Oh, sorry.
The final one, the seventh one, is royalty income. Income from others using your idea. So that could be a book every 6 months from McGraw-Hill and from William Morrow. I receive a royalty check. And remember, Success Runs in Our Race was written 25 years ago. It is a modern day classic. You can go on Amazon right now and purchase it. 25 years later, 8,000 copies sell a year. 25 years later, I get a royalty from that. The same thing with Click, 10 Truths for Building Extraordinary Relationships, right? So you want royalty income. So I get a royalty income from writing. People get royalty incomes from music. So what kind of creative gift that you have that you can produce that can provide, in a sense, residual income to you over an extended period of time?
Wow.
Those are the 7 streams of income. Let's say it again. Earned income, income from working on a job. Profit income, income from buying and selling. Interest income, income from lending money. Dividend income, income from owning stock. Rental income, income from renting a house. Capital gains income, assets that increase in value. And royalty income, income from others using your idea. How many of those, brothers and sisters who are listening, how many of those 7 do you have currently? And what is your goal, right, to get 2 or 3 more before you die?
Now,
Did
everybody catch that?
People have asked me, Dr. Fraser, how many of them do you have? Well, I'm 75 years old. I have all 7.
Wow.
Now, I didn't have all 7 at 40, but I have all 7 now.
Wow. Did everybody catch that? Did everybody get the 7 types of income? In case you just came in, I'm speaking with Dr. George C. Fraser. He's the author of the books Success Runs in Our Race and also Click, 10 Rules for Building Extraordinary Relationships. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
And he's also created the Power Networking Conference every year, which is very popular. And that's going to happen a little bit later on in the year in the summer. Fraser Nation is part of that. And so in case you guys haven't done this yet, if you could, please hit the thumbs up button, the notification bell, and the subscribe button. Also, Dr. Fraser and I are both on screen at The Black Financial Channel. So make sure you subscribe to theblackfinancialchannel.com, where we do daily financial news and commentary from a Black perspective. I did an analysis this morning on what's going on in the stock market and actually Trump's whole battle with China and how that actually plays out and what's happening in Iran. So you guys should go check that out. We need to own our own media. So we need you guys to subscribe to everything. And we'd love for you to have your support as well. Feel free to also, if you want to learn more about business, feel free to go to theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, that's theblackbusinessschool.com. You know, Dr. Fraser, one thing that came to mind that you were referring to when you were talking about, capital gains and just investing in general. You know, when I see, interest income, dividend income, capital gains income, royalty, et cetera, I'm thinking, or even profit income, I'm thinking about just investing, right? All the different ways you make money from investments, right? You can make money from the interest, from the dividends, from the profits, all the way down the line. And I think one thing that a lot of us don't get a chance to hear about when we're young is really how much of a difference it makes when you're making your money as an investor or a business owner, as opposed to making your money as a worker. You know, this is a really, in some ways, this is really kind of a screwed up, evil country in certain ways, in the sense that there are huge advantages that business owners get that, you know, that people don't get when they work every day. You know, just the fact that you can write off so many things. I went to Colombia, Medellin, Colombia, you know, to spend time with my brother and to do, you know, but we had several business meetings. We did lots of business. So, you know, so I get to write that off, you know, which makes the trip much less expensive for me than it would be if I was a working guy who just went down just to hang out. And there's nothing illegal about it. You know, no tax evasion happening. It's more, and it wasn't even like we had to do something awkward to make it work. It just was true. I'm in business with my brother. So one of the things I've always said to the people that are in the Black Business School is, I've said every Black family should have a family business. You know, every Black family should just sort of have an LLC. You know, when you're talking about, you know, hustling for your last name, as they like to call it, meaning leaving a legacy. You know, why not? What makes you any less worthy than the Rockefellers? You know, why is your family name less valuable than the Vanderbilts? You know, seriously, why do you look at the Carnegies and those people, the De Beers family, and
The
why do you believe that they're better than you? You know, but why are you? You know, we understand why white folks are white supremacists. That's just kind of what happens. But why are you a white supremacist? That's the question I ask Black folks. Why are you committed to white supremacy to the point where you believe that they deserve to value their name and their legacy more than you value your name and your legacy?
Right.
You know, so I'd love to get your thoughts on some of that as well. I loved how you mentioned how just buying that property and the write-offs with the depreciation allowed you to literally eliminate your tax bill. It's just kind of how the game is played. Can you speak more to that?
Yeah, when you are a financially illiterate people, as most of us are, not all of us, just most of us, you do not understand that the understanding of how the economics in this country works. You understand that the tax system was set up for the landowner and the business owner. Why? Because landowners and business owners write the tax laws. Okay? So if we don't own land, and we own the fewest number of homes per capita of any cultural group in this country, and we came over here on the Mayflower, and we don't own businesses, and we still own the fewest number of businesses per capita of any cultural group, and we came over here on the Mayflower, you cannot fully exploit the American tax system. It just makes good sense, right? You pay less, you said it very simply. You pay less taxes. You keep more of your money. You've heard it said a million times, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep. Well, what is the system for doing that? Even the system of bankruptcy in America is a business tool. No white people are shamed by it. We are shamed by it. It's a business tool. This asshole we have as president has done it 5 times as a business tool. One of the only business people on the planet that bankrupted a casino. I mean, how fucking stupid is that? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I get
That's all right. Let it out. Let it
right?
out. I mean, I want y'all to encourage him. Tell him to let it out. Go ahead.
Right. I mean, but to his credit, he understands the tax system. This is why he does not want you to see his taxes. This is why Romney did not want you to see his taxes when he was running against Obama. Why? Not because they necessarily did anything illegal, except they fully exploited the American tax system and paid hardly any taxes based on their accumulated wealth. Right? So it is a strategy when you have a level of financial literacy, right? Understanding our system helps us to understand that the tax system, let me say it one more time, brothers and sisters, write it down. The tax system was developed for the landowner and the business owner. So I want to say this with humility. I'm a business owner, big time. The amount of taxes I write off every year simply because I am a business owner
Mm.
is double the annual income, working income of most Black families. I write off more than most Black people make. And again, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm strategically and tactically using a system that was set up for them. Why can't you use it? You said it. Why can't you use it? Of course you can use it. It is not color coded. All right. One other tip.
Well, you know
This
what?
is
I hope you guys are listening to this. Dr. Fraser's not, and I know neither one of us on any level is trying to present ourselves as being better than anybody who's watching.
no,
We
that's right.
just want you to be the best that you can be. We want you to be, to find the greatness that's inside of you. And so with these conversations, I find that these are the discussions. I don't know. You guys give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or no. A lot of y'all went to, some big, fancy, expensive white university. They charge you a bunch of money. Did they ever have conversations with you about things like this? Like, did you ever get a chance to sit and listen to a couple of admittedly, a couple of Black millionaires? He's made a couple more dollars than I have, but we technically we are both millionaires, right?
Right.
And it's okay to admit that, right? I mean, think about it. You
I'm
got
not
rappers,
ashamed of it.
right,
Right.
right. You got rappers that rap about babies, mamas, and
That's
drug
right.
addiction. So hopefully, Black men can also brag about being successful without being shamed in that. And we're really giving you an honest assessment of things that we believe you can do to make your lives better. And so, did you ever hear any of this? Did you ever get a chance to listen to Black millionaires or billionaires or anything like that explain to you how Black people can get ahead in this system? You probably didn't. I know I didn't, Dr. Frazier, and
No, no, I didn't either. I didn't. I just reading and studying. Here's another insight. Very, very, very important. I've been married to the same woman. We have been together for 48 years. This is, of course, the biggest decision you will make in your life will be your life partner. Screw that up 3 or 4 times and see what your life looks like. But let's assume that you make a good decision and you can hang with the same sister. You notice I said sister, right? For 50 or so years. All right. We were and are a lot alike. And we made a pact when we got married. The pact was an economic pact that we would never buy a new car. Now, simple. This sounds simple, but I made $1 million with this pact. Not exaggerating. I'm going to show you how.
wow.
Not
Okay.
exaggerating. Not exaggerating.
We're listening now.
Made $1 million, actually more than that. Just this one simple agreement between Nora Jean and I. We would never buy a new car. We would only buy a 3-year-old or more luxury car off lease. That was our strategy. So we always had, if you go in my garage today, I bought it when it was 3 years old, an Audi, and Nora Jean, her Lexus is 10 years old, a Lexus in tip-top shape, right? And we did this, we have been doing this for 48 years. And the idea was that we never wanted an extraordinarily large automobile payment. We always wanted something $200 per month or less. That was our goal. There were a couple of years it was $150 or less. Remember, this was done over 48 years. So the money we saved on a car payment of the same year, and we would always do this, we said, well, okay, if we bought this car new, what would the payment be? And our pact was we would put into an investment, a number of different types of investment, the savings between what a new car would have been and what we were currently paying for our used car. And we'd take the difference and we would monthly invest it. We did that for 48 years. I don't even want to tell you the number that represents today, just that one little strategy. Now, we kept every car 10 years or more. That's why we wanted a luxury car. We wanted something that was well made, had a little prestige to it. And that's I'm driving an Audi. She's been driving Lexuses for years and years and years because they last. They're some of the best built cars. So you do that for 48 years times two. You make the investment of what the new car payment would have been versus the old car payment, and you do that for 48 years and see what you end up with.
Wow, I love it. Everybody who's listening, this is Dr. George C. Fraser. He's the author of a couple of great books everybody should read. One is called Success Runs in Our Race. He's the networking guru of America, and I believe he's the greatest networking guru on earth. He's also one of the most brilliant elders I've spoken with anywhere. And also his other book is called Click, 10 Rules for Developing Successful Relationships. Or is it healthy or?
Yeah. You made me forget the damn subtitle. It's none of the. It's not. You made me forget it. Click the 10 truths. The 10 truths. The 10 truths. There it is. The 10 truths.
There we go. There we go.
Extraordinary relationships. Right.
Yes.
It's next level networking. Right.
Yes. Well, let me say this to you guys also. His name is spelled Fraser, not Z. So make sure you spell that right when you go buy the book. Also, I'm going to be speaking at his Power Networking Conference in the summer, which is part of Fraser Nation, which I'm a part of and I respect tremendously. And I hope you guys will consider joining as well. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button. If you haven't done that, please hit the notification bell. If you want to help our Black media grow, we'd love to have you as a patron at intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. And I want to ask you, Dr. Fraser, about something. Now earlier, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to give me a yes or no answer, and then I'm going to ask a follow-up question. Do you love Black women? I know it's hard to answer with one word, but I assume the answer is going to be yes.
No, it's beyond yes. Absolutely. In fact, I am so deprogrammed. I do not find white women attractive.
I knew there was you're my brother from another mother, because I'm the same way. It's no disrespect to white women.
Right.
Nothing compares to Black women. Nothing. I completely agree with you. And so I asked you that question. That's a loaded question. Let me tell you why. It's a loaded question because you and I had a conversation about another Black woman by the name of Lizzo.
Yeah.
Now, Lizzo, I made some remarks about it, and it I guess the media, you know what the media does. They
blew up. And
there was nothing untrue about what I said. Even if I were talking to Lizzo herself, I'm sure she'd agree with a big chunk of what I said, right? But of course, divide and conquer and all this other stuff, right? Black man against Black woman. People love to live off that narrative. Well, let me tell you what happened to me. Just literally while you and I were talking, I got this email, and I'd like to get your take on some of this. And I'm telling you all this because I want you to kind of shape your comments in a way that that reflects your truth, as well as I'm warning to just make sure you say it in a way that doesn't cause you to go through some of the firestorm that I went through, because my shit is my shit, and I accept that wholeheartedly. And let me tell you why. You and I were both slated to speak at the AG Gaston conference, and I know I was one of the keynotes, or I don't know, I was some sort of keynote. They used the word keynote somewhere, and I know I was going to come. And I love that conference. I love AG Gaston. Well, I just got an email today saying that they were canceling me as the keynote speaker because of the whole Lizzo controversy. And I was a little bit surprised, but I know how corporate America works, right? The corporate sponsors, corporations don't always like controversy, and there was pressure apparently put on the organizers. And because I don't let things happen in the dark. I like talking about things, just talking it out so people know what's really going on. And they said, we're going to go in a different direction, and I totally get that. My last goal in life is to get another Black person fired. And in fact, when I go speak at any corporation, I tell them, don't take too much advice from me, because I'll get you in trouble. So just, so with that said, I think I'd love to get your take on how we can process, a Lizzo in this world without giving the appearance or allowing anybody to think that we have an issue with Black women as a collective. And then, and then the other stuff, if you want to talk about that as well, you can. But just know, I'm not bothered by the cancellation. I understand that. But I think it's important to kind of talk about where we stand as Black people in terms of what is and is not acceptable in terms of how we present it to the world. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. There are three things we cover at the Power Networking Conference, as you know: business, money, and wellness, psychological wellness, and physical wellness, because they're connected. We want our people to live the longest life they could live. And we know that their health will play a key role in that. That's science. We do not have the best health. The average age, lifespan of a Black man in America is 67 and a half. I'm 75. So in white years, I think I'm 190 in white years. In Black years, I'm 75. All right. Women die sooner than white women. Much of it is to old school eating habits. And we know what we had to do. We had to do whatever we had to do to survive. And much of it is due to our sedentary lifestyle. We know that too many of our sisters, as beautiful and as smart, and Lizzo is in that category. Lizzo is a fine sister. Fine sister. All kinds of skills. She could play the flute. I mean, really play the flute. One of my favorite people on the planet was Sherry Winston, Grammy-nominated flutist out of New York. One of my favorite friends. So when I saw Lizzo playing the flute, it reminded me of Sherry, right? Sherry led the way. One of the females, her and Bobby Humphrey back in the day, led the way of women playing flute. So I fell in love with that whole idea. Here's a sister playing flute. She can write music. She can dance. She can party. She can sing. She's got energy. She's got youth. And I first saw her, my first exposure to her was on the BET Awards in June. And I had never seen a performance quite like hers. It was sort of erotic. And I was, in a sense, shocked by the display of her body that was sexually provocative and this very large body. Now, I have nothing wrong. I have no problems with sisters with large body and entertainers. Ella Fitzgerald had a large body. Ma Rainey had a large body. Right? So, I mean, we can go in the entertainment world. There were plenty of large body sisters and certainly brothers with large bodies. But they manage their presentation and their body in a very, very conservative way. That was not what I saw.
Or I would even say, maybe even a stronger word to use might be dignified.
Okay.
Right? That's
I like that word better.
In my mind is dignified.
Yes.
Right. Aretha was not a tiny lady.
No, right, absolutely.
Right, but Aretha, you would never critique Aretha as being, as making Black people uncomfortable with her presence.
No, we accepted her. So Lizzo took it to the next level and introduced eroticism and the bearing of, I think, for a sister as beautiful as she is and her size, uh, a bearing of skin and photographs, because she loves to photograph nude. For me, as a Christian and loving sisters and wanting to see the best publicly displayed by our sisters as we stand in front of millions and do our thing, I was not happy about that. And I actually if you go to my Facebook page, I posted something about that in June, right the day after the BET Awards. I protested it. I said something. Now, I caught heat. I caught heat. I did not try to defend what I said unless there were people that were trolling and hating, and those I did defend myself. But if I could wave a magic wand, I would not wish that for her. I would wish that she would control her body, because I want her to live to be 100. That's not going to happen at that size. That's just biology, that's medicine, right? In addition to that, she is beautiful, but all we are seeing is the potential of her beauty, right? If she shaped that to some reasonable perspective, I mean, that would be one fine system, right? So that is what we want for our sisters, right? We don't want our sisters to look like that. We don't. There are many that do. We accept them. But we damn sure don't want them putting their asses in our faces and shaking them, and we don't. That's not dignity coming from, I think, the most powerful woman on the planet, which is the Black woman, maybe the most powerful person on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? I think it was Dr. John Henry Clark who said, the power of this world is between the legs of a Black woman.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So she has that potential. She is in that category, talent. God has given her talent and beauty. There are things that she can do to mitigate that and to assuage that and to enhance that. And that's what we wish for her. That's what we want from her.
Well,
She'll decide. She'll decide. But if she's getting good advice from the people around her, they will work with her on that. And she can do that.
I'll tell you.
That's how I feel. That's how I see it. That's how I feel about it.
Well, and I think that we're on the same page with that, in the sense that nobody dislikes her because she's overweight. Because if I was to dislike her for being overweight, then I would dislike myself, because I've been overweight for a long time. And so that's not I agree with you. That's not the issue. Just for those who really wanted to listen, those who were seeking to really understand, I did a couple of things. First thing was, I found out that the majority of the Black community, at least in the conscious community, in terms of the few 100,000 people that follow us, the 80% of them, in a survey, we asked them, do you feel that Lizzo, that what she's doing is helping or hurting the image of the Black woman in America and around the world? 80% said it's hurting the image, right? So the majority of our people, at least in this space, that are woke and conscious, get it. They totally get it. And the second thing was, I said, look, if you're overweight, it would make no sense to not love someone because they're overweight. But there's a difference between me loving you the way you are versus encouraging you to stay the way you are. If you're in the gutter smoking crack and drinking liquor every day, I'm still going to love you, especially if you're my relative or whatever. But I'm not going to say, hey, I love you so much, I want you to keep drinking, or here's some more money to go buy some more crack.
Right.
that would not make me your friend. That would make me your enabler. And I think that when we have this, so sometimes the whole idea of self-love goes overboard to the point where you're enabling unhealthy behavior. And it's not just her, it's
Yeah.
really sort of a class of people that are saying, okay, this thing is in, this is what you want to be. And I think the last part was what I referred to, and I did some research on this to make sure I was speaking historically in an accurate way, and I even had Dr. Claude Anderson on to break it down. Is you've got the historic image of the Black woman positioned as a mammy type, and mammies tended to be bigger women, and then you've got the Jezebel stereotype, which is the hypersexualized version of the Black woman. So I said, okay, so what you're watching right now is a mammy Jezebel minstrel show, that is not. When you consider how many talented sisters there are out here who drew the line and said there are certain things I just won't do.
Right.
It's unfortunate because those women are looking for opportunities and won't ever get them because they're looking for something completely different. That was my analysis on it. I'll let you get the last word on that.
Yeah. So let's not forget. So we're just going to put it out here. Let's not forget that our sister Lizzo is morbidly obese. She's morbidly obese. She's not just a little overweight. She's morbidly. That's the category she's in. In other words, her weight threatens to kill her. Now, we can't love that. We can't like that, right? We don't want that for her. We don't want her to be morbidly obese. That's the category she's in. That's what she's facing. And I'm sure that we are not the only ones that have said it. This is what it is. We want better for her because we want her to live a long and fruitful and healthy life. That's really what we're saying. That's really what we want. We're not hating, we're not trolling, right? You got all of this talent and this inherent beauty, right? To fall into the morbidly, not just overweight, but the morbidly obese, this will kill you if you do not fix it, according to medicine. Not according to Dr. Fraser and according to Dr. Watkins. This will kill you. This is the category you are in. And here's a sister that is moving, man. I mean, she dances. I mean, the energy you need for that, and the lightness of touch and light on your feet. That require. I mean, she's moving. That's her act.
Mm-hmm.
That requires the pumping of the heart and moving all that around. That's serious, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's serious. And so we're saying this out of love, not out of hate. It's out of love. This is too much talent
Absolutely.
to fall over because of a condition that ultimately over time, especially with the money she's now making, can be managed.
Mm-hmm.
Can be managed. Now, the other side of that could be an economic decision on her team's, let's call it her team's behalf. And that is, that does have some appeal to sisters who are large and / morbidly obese, and there are a lot of them. So to see a sister who can move like that and have that kind of talent and celebrate and display, right, her size, says to some, I should not be ashamed of this that I carry, right? It is whatever it is. So that's an economic decision. But we know that what applies to her applies to any of our sisters, or white women do the same way, right? This, you cannot tell me as a righteous Black man that is good. It is not good. And any physician, medical person will tell you that. It's not good. This is not good.
Mm.
And it can be fixed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she's young.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, I wish her the best, and I, I tell you what, I as much as I wish I could take back what I said in order to make everybody feel better. I'm not going to do that. I say what I say, and I think it through. I go through the back and forth before it comes out of my mouth. And once I've made the decision that it's going to come out of my mouth, it comes out, and that's where it stays. And so, if I hurt anybody's feelings, I apologize for that. But don't get mad at me. Get mad at the truth. And that's what I say to those who don't understand. And if you have any issue with us bringing up these things that you don't hear in mainstream media, then bring facts. I think people bring emotion, and I'm mad at you because, well, mad at me for what? Well, because you said something. You're mad. Are you mad at me because I lied? Well, no, you didn't lie. But no. So you're mad at me for telling you the truth, for speaking. You're not used to a black man, an intelligent black man, speaking an unconditional truth and a fearless truth, and that's what it is going to be.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you before, like earlier before we were off the air, I said life's too short to be running around here lying and doing stuff that that doesn't make any sense. Our people need the truth, and that's what's going to set us free. That's what's going to make us strong.
It's an unspoken truth, and it's as Dr. Claude Andrews would say, it's a dirty little secret. We don't really like to talk about it, right? But it's right there in our face, and we don't say anything, right? Right? And so if you don't say anything, nothing gets done. Those who are woke and conscious will do something about it. We read about these cases all the time. So something, especially at her age, right? Something can be done, right? So we're not asking her to be white girl thin, right? We are asking her to manage the provocative way in which she displays herself. And I mean, you have $1 million sister actors and actresses and musicians, as you said earlier, who refuse to do it. They're asked to do it. And they said, if I got to do that to make money, count me out.
That's right.
Down with that.
Right on.
Right.
Well, thank you for the wisdom today, Dr. Fraser. I appreciate it. And I want everybody to know, by the way, right after I get done speaking with Dr. Fraser, I'll be on Your Black World TV. I'm going to speak to national security expert Asha Castleberry about this situation in Iran. So she can answer all your questions about what's going on with that. That's a big deal. And Dr. Fraser, just to let you guys know how important Dr. Fraser is, that interview with Asha was going to start 10 minutes ago. And I text Asha and asked for a few more minutes because I'm speaking to one of the greatest men in American history. And I really believe that. And I mean that, Dr. Fraser. And I want to say thank you for gracing us with your presence. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. We're going to close this up, and thank you for giving me a little bit of extra time. I want to encourage people to go to the Power Networking Conference site, www.powernetworkingconference.com. I want you to put a code in it because this code is going to give you a 60% discount on the registration, a 60% discount. So the code is damn good deal. Just write damn good deal. Lowercase.
Is that DAMN or
damn? DAMN.
DAMN. Damn good deal. All right.
That's the promo code.
I love
that. Will give you a 60% discount for 48 hours. Damn good deal.
All right.
So also visit onefrasernation.com. See what is required to become a citizen of our nation. Join us. The nation was designed to promote you. Our nation is designed to promote who you are and what you have to offer our people. It's about you.
All right.
And it was Amos Wilson who said, until we begin to act as a nation, things will never change. So we are going to act on that.
Amos Wilson, is that this Amos Wilson? Blueprint for Black.
Amos Wilson. Woo.
Yes, sir. This is keep it right next to Powernomics and actually
oh my God, yes.
Yeah, my brother had introduced me to your books years ago, and I have a copy somewhere around here, but I'm actually going to order some more because we need to have 5 or 6 copies of your books in the house. And I want everybody to know so let me give you the websites again, powernetworkingconference.com, and use the code damn good deal, DAMN good deal, at one word, lowercase. to get 60% off. And also, Dr. Fraser's other books are Success Runs in Our Race, and also Click, 10 Truths to Develop
Building Extraordinary Relationships.
Extraordinary Relationships. I love it. And it's very important for you guys because relationships are everything in business. So make sure you check out that stuff. And last but not least, if you could, before you go, please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Financial Channel, theblackfinancialchannel.com. And also go to the Black Business School, theblackbusinessschool.com. If you'd like to move your family forward on their wealth building journey. We need businesses, we need investors, we need an army of economic soldiers that are going to take over in the 21st century and beyond. That's what we're doing. We're building an army because we are at war. Black people will win this war. We will not back down. We are the greatest people in the history of this earth, and I want you to find your greatness. So thank you, guys, and thank you again, Dr. Fraser. I appreciate your time, brother.
Love you, man. And everybody out there, remember, if you want to change your life, change your relationships.
Right on, right on. But have a good day, brother. I will see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.